Welcome to this video where we will learn about the legendary Saiva Saint Idangkazhi Nayanar. He hailed from the kingdom of Konadu, from the city of Kodumpallur. Present-day Kodumpallur can be found approximately 34 kilometers southwest of the city of Tiruchirappalli and roughly 40 kilometers northwest of the city of Pudukkottai. As Sundaramurthy Nayanar of the 8th century in the Common Era has sung of the glories of Idangkazhi Nayanar's life, we can confirm that Idangkazhi Nayanar has lived prior to Sundarar's time. His day of Mukti, which is when he attained liberation, is annually celebrated as his Guru Puja on the Karthigai Natchatram of the Tamil month of Aipasi, which is usually around the months of October and November. His glories have been shared with the rest of the world by many saints, including Circular Swamigal, who has dedicated 11 songs in his Periya Puranam to him. Now we know a few details about Idangkazhi Nayanar, let's learn a bit more about his story. Idangkazhiyar hailed from the city of Kodumpallur, the then capital of Konadu, which was well known for its picturesque scenery where mellifluous flowers bloomed and lakes and ponds housing cool waters were found in abundance. He was the ruler of the area of Konadu. It was from this very dynasty of the Ulakelaang clan from which the mighty Chola king Aditya Cholar, who gold-plated the temple of Chidambaram, also hailed from. Idangkazhiyar was his ancestor. Idangkazhi's name was famous in his lands, as he was always thinking of the Lord, his dear devotees, and nothing else, not even in his dreams. Such was the purity of this soul, who would make sure all his actions were always for the benefit of the Lord's devotees. During his time in charge of this kingdom, he always ensured that the Saiva way of life flourished, and that all the pujas and events at the holy places of worship were all in accordance with the Saiva Agamas. This way, he flourished not only as a ruler, but also as a devotee of the Lord, and as a devotee of the devotees. During his reign, among his subjects, there was a devotee who had all his life served the dear devotees of the Lord in the best way he could, by serving them all with delicious food offered to the Lord on a daily basis. Such was his fate that one day he was struggling to continue with his virtuous deed, for he ran out of the resources usually required to serve the Lord's devotees. Out of desperation, with all his thoughts fixed on the Lord, thinking that he was still doing the right thing, without realizing, at the middle of night, he broke into the king's palace, traversed the security somehow, and ventured into the royal granary, where there were innumerable sacks filled with rice and other grains. He saw all this paddy and automatically took some bags with him. Just as he was doing so, the royal drum beaters, who would periodically beat their drums to signify the various times of the day to the rest of the palace, saw this person stealing grains from the royal store and immediately caught hold of him. Before arresting him and bringing him in front of the presence of the king, the devotee king, who was armed with a spear, saw the devotee-like appearance of this person and asked him why he did such a deed. In response, this devotee shared with the king the truth and his current state, and that he felt forced to do such a deed, for he was unable to continue his service to the servers of the ultimate Father of all, as he did not have the resources to serve meals to the devotees. Hearing these words, the righteous and gracious king became compassionate and immediately ordered his soldiers to release this devotee, and also requested the devotee to take with him all the edible and financial resources he required to continue his great devotee service. The king told his soldiers that this devotee was not an ordinary person, but a living treasure in his eyes. This incident was an eye-opening one before the king Idangkazhi, and it made him realize that all he had in his possession in this life was all not really his own, and they all had one true owner, the eternal Lord himself. Thus he announced to all his people through the medium of his royal drummer announcers that not only the royal palace's granary but all the palace's treasury would be open to all devotees of the Lord, and that they would have access to it all whenever they wished. This way, this kind and gracious king allowed his royal treasury to be taken away by the dear devotees of the Lord, and watching it happen filled the king with immense pleasure. This way, the legendary Idangkazhi ruled over the area with great values for many years before the Lord himself granted him eternal bliss and took him with him to his eternal abode. Such was the greatness of Idangkazhi Nayanar that many great souls and saints have sung his praises in their compositions. Let's take this opportunity to explore some of these wonderful songs.
கடல்சூழ்ந்த உலகெல்லாம் காக்கின்ற பெருமான் காடவர் உன் கடற்சிங்க நடியார்க்கும் அடியேன் மடல் சூழ்ந்த தார் நம்பி இடங்கழிக்கும் தஞ்சை மன்னவனான் செருத்துணைத நடியார்க்கும் அடியேன் உடை சூழ்ந்த புலியதர் மிளற வாட ஆடி பொன்னடிக்கே மனம் வைத்த புகழ் துணைக்கும் அடியேன் அடல் சூழ்ந்த வேல் நம்பி கோட்பொழிக்கும் அடியேன் ஆரூரன் ஆரூரில் அம்மான காலே Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Singaththuruvanai ஜற்றவன் சிற்றம்பலமுகடு கொங்கிற்கனகம் அணிந்த வாதித்தன் குலமுதலோ திங்கச்சடையர் தமரதல் செல்வமெலப்பறை போக்கு அங்கற்கு இறைவனிருக்கு வேலூர் மண் இடங்களி. Ennilperum panndaaram ஈசனடியார் கொள்ள உன்னிறைந்த அன்பினால் உருகொள்ளை மிக ஊட்டி தன்னழியால் நெடுங்காலம் திருநேற்றின் நெறிதழைப்ப மண்ணில் அருள் புரிந்துரைவர் மலரடியின் நிழல் சேர்ந்தார்.
All hail the legendary Idangkazhi Nayanar.